All right, welcome to Math 1400 for spring 2022. I'm your instructor, Dr. Barry Smith, and here's some information about me. So my office is in PS 130. Here's my phone. If you need to call, leave a message. Best way to contact me, though, is by my Casper College email address. If you email that, please use your Casper College email because I have to reply only to Casper College emails due to FERPA. I have office hours here, so you can either come to my office in PS 130, which requires you to wear a mask if you come to my office, or via Zoom at one of these times via the link here, and you'll need this passcode. And you can also talk to me during class since it's an in-class class. Here's a short intro video about myself a little bit. You're watching this Moodle overview. Here's the mom or My Open Math login. This is kind of how to show you to do it. So it explains how to get your login credentials. Announcements will be posted here. Probably one of the most important things for this class will be this. It's the YouTube channel for this class. And so what it does is it lists all the lectures from the very beginning clear to the very last one we do, which is even further down apparently. And so there's like 118 videos for the class. There's the checklist to make sure you click you're participating or not. Syllabus, please read that carefully and completely. The calendar for this semester, it's what we're going to try to follow. It's also in the syllabus, but it's split apart here as well. Our textbook can be found here, as well as here if you just want the online version, but this is the PDF version. Here we have a math study skills. It kind of talks about how the brain works in learning things, as well as different brain-friendly techniques to learn math or any class for that matter. So you can use these study skills for any class you take, really. If you haven't used My Open Math or MOM before, here's how to enter answers. It kind of gives you an idea on what to do there. Some helpful links. Well, for starters, you have to have My Open Math credentials. So here's the link to do that. And it takes you over here. And if I log out, you'll come to a page that looks like this. And you want to do the register as a new student. And it'll kind of talk you through that on that My Open Math video there. Then we have the Digital Learning Center, Help Desk, Information Technologies, Disability Services, Tutoring, Study Resources, Student Handbook. Then we have some motivational videos on why we can all succeed in math, really. And so we have, the power of believing you can improve, to the grit, to how learning math is different, to techniques to eliminate math anxiety, as well as some extra study skills here. So all those are kind of to help you, motivate yourself to show that everybody can actually succeed in math. Some useful websites, we have Khan Academy, Desmos, which is a graphing online calculator, and then a TI-84 calculator help website. Now we have really these 5 different modules. Module 1 was split into 2 this semester with input from students from last semester. And so what it did, we just split a chapter or the whole module in half and kind of split it that way. So in module 1A, you'll have an introduction, which is due at the end of the module, syllabus quiz, also due at the end of the module, a math poll, do you like math, hate math, whatever. Be honest on your answer. Then your first assignment in here is your intro to My Open Math. And basically, once you get your credentials for MOM, then you come in here and you'll type those in the very first time and log in. That will then save in Moodle. And every time you click on a link for MOM, it'll take you right to it. You won't have to actually click in. And so you go in and you can go into your assignments. And this first one is showing you, okay, write this number with no rounding, with 2 decimal places, divide these out, and you can do, more questions. So they're all the different kinds of questions. As long as you look like you're doing the right kind of things, if you miss one for a little bit, that's not a problem. It's not worth much. And usually I end up giving full credit on those if you've attempted it. All right, so going back here again, then the modules from here down is going to be like the rest of the modules in the course. You start with outcomes, you have your reading materials, different ones. This one has 2 sections, so it has 2 different parts. And then we have the section 1.1, the actual section. So this actually is just what you need to read for this section only. And then also has a little bit of reading of parent functions. So it's like the absolute value, square root, things like that. Some video lessons. You can click in here, see some videos. Here's a video assignment, kind of no stakes, no credit kind of stuff to just practice on. And then you've got a homework and you've got quizzes for 1.1. Now notice all these that have marked as done, all up here even, those all count for points in the class. So you want to do everything that's marked as done there. Then you have 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. And then we have the 1. It's supposed to say A here, apparently typed a B. 1.A review, and so it's going to be reviewing 1.1 to 1.5. And so you can click that, do that, and it's basically a practice exam, kind of what you would say. And then we have the study skills journal. It'll open up once class starts, and it's talking about that math study skills. I talked about how the brain works and different brain friendly techniques for learning things, and it'll have some prompts. You have to answer those prompts, and again, that has to be done before the 7th of February. It opens up on the 18th, and then it has to be due by the 7th. Then we have a pre-exam self-reflection. So prior to the exam, this opens up 3 days before the exam, and you have a few days to reflect on where you're at, how well you're doing. Am I ready for the exam? Am I not ready for the exam, etc. And so that's going to be kind of something to let you know, am I ready for this? And then I can read it and say, hey, is everybody ready or not? And then after the exam, then you have this post exam. So then you can say, okay, well, I really wasn't ready. I totally bombed it. Or hey, it was easier than I thought it was. I really was ready. And give a paragraph on each of them or so. Really reflect on where you're at, where you need to be, and maybe on the posts, okay, well, I didn't do as well as I thought. I need to do more studying, whatever. And that kind of gives you an idea where you're at and helps you to define where you need to go with studying. And it helps me because I can go in and read those, and I can see why you did so well or why you didn't do so well, and it kind of hopefully will tie together there. And then 1B, it starts out here again. We just go through the sections, and then we have our review for that, study skills journal, post exam. And that's really how it's going to work for the rest of the things. It's just going to keep going on and on and on, just doing the same thing until we get to here on module 3. The one thing that's different is we have this assessment due. Okay, so if we click on the assessment, basically we have the rubric here, how it's going to be graded, and we have the assignment in the PDF file here. And so we can go in here and it gives us what we have to do. So we're using quantitative analytical skills to evaluate and process numerical data, and it gives you 5 steps. And what you want to do is when you I probably haven't got that on here. Let me share this now. So it gives you this assessment. So it gives you 5 things to do for sure, answering questions. And so what you want to do is make sure you answer all the questions here, but make sure you answer everything that's going to be graded on the rubric. So if it says, what were your assumptions, and there's nowhere here it really says something about assumptions, you need to make sure that, okay, oh, here it is actually. So, you've done assumptions. So make sure you tie that in. And so it's kind of a thing to work on, and it doesn't have to be a full paper. Just answer paragraphs is good on each one of these, and make sure again you do what is required on the rubric. All right, going back over here, let's see if we can get back to where we were without having to, there we go. And then we just have study skills, pre-exam, post-exam, and then chapter 4, it does the same thing. So nothing different. So hopefully that'll help you at least get started in Moodle and an overview for the courses. And I look forward to working with you this semester.